Yeah, I don't know what I was doing with that like comment, but I bet I was like, how many memes for Holland this weekend? I was trying to like bounce it to the music, but it clearly wasn't working. But guys, welcome to Young Bucks. Wow, Premier League is starting tomorrow, and I'm actually excited. I haven't been excited about football since the season ended, so yeah, I am genuinely excited. Like I know you guys like think I hate football, but I'm actually buzzing for the season now. I'm a bit taken aback. I'm hearing a lot of injuries at Liverpool, so I'm kind of sad about that. But hey, this ain't just a Liverpool show; it's a football show. So I'm gonna go to our debutant, Elliott. We have a Forest fan in the building. It's been a while since you guys were on the Prem. How you doing, fella?
Well, the last time we were in the Prem, I wasn't even born, so it's been that long. It's been 23 years, and I'm 22, so it's been a long time. I think I speak on behalf of the whole of Nottingham when I say we are excited, really excited. I mean, we could realistically finish on 15 points this season, and we'd still have enjoyed the ride. I mean, we start at Newcastle, then we host West Ham. We've got Everton away coming up. We've got so many big games. And the way we've been in the transfer window is just absolutely ludicrous. I don't think anyone expected us to be this good in the market, challenging for some really big players. Morgan Gibbs White potentially about to sign. So, yeah, things are exciting and, buzzing for this weekend.
Mate, class. Yeah, one big win over, like, I don't know, United, and you and Ben will be down Rock City having a laugh. Shout out Mick. Mick, one of the RedFellas, one of the main guys. Me and him, we got off to a bad start after he accused me of cheating in the Grizz Khan like summer league quiz. So we're back, we're friends now. But chat, I'm gonna be aggressive with you. I want to see comments. I want to see. I'm not gonna say controversy, but I want to see some banter flying in the comments because sometimes we're too nice. We're just give it to your rivals every now and then. And smash that like button because smash the like button, join the channel, whatever. I want. Yeah, Tom knows the truth. Yeah, whatever.
I plead the fifth. I will not comment on that situation.
Yeah. Speaking of Tom, this is you featured on the channel a few times actually, various shows. How you doing, bro? How we feeling? How we feeling for the new season?
Right now I'm very hungover, but looking forward to the new season. Cannot wait to just have football back. And it's good that it's Fulham first game. I can just relax because it's Fulham. What are Fulham gonna do,
mate? I'm actually confident for this one. Like, I know Ben, you put out a tweet going, we had a little chat on Twitter, and you were like, it's a potential banana skin. I'm gonna throw it out there. I don't think it is a banana skin. I think we're set. I think Fulham are in trouble. Marco Silva's scrounging around like the bottom of the Fulham kitty bank, whatever. Probably trying to go over to Stamford Bridge and steal some money. I don't know. But they need players. We've got Mo Salah on fire. We've got Darwin Núñez bagging on his debut. How you feeling, mate?
Yeah, listen, the reason why I said it was potential banana skin, it's not necessarily Fulham. It's away from home, 12:30 kickoff, opening day of the season for us. So if we're going to drop points to a team like Fulham, that's probably the scenario.
Never back the early kickoff and all that.
Yeah, exactly. And they've got a bit of a spring in the step after promotion. And I think we'll win, but I'm not as like... I did say yesterday on the stream, to be fair, we'll batter him, but I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily be shocked if Fulham were a lot better than what we expect. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. To be honest, just you saying that for the last minute has kind of put a bit of doubt into my mind. Kind of probably shows the mental state my football brain is in right now. I really have no idea what's really been going on. But I'm still confident. Like that.
Yeah, of course.
That Community Shield win, like it got me. It got me back in the feels. I was like, yeah, this is the Liverpool I love. But I think it's only right to start with you, Elliott. Bringing on another fan from another club that's won the Champions League, European Cup, whatever you want to call it. Hamza still can't sing that. Mate, what is the buzz from Forest fans right now? How are we? like, is it like, because I'm seeing a lot of predictions. I think people have a soft spot for Forest, first of all. I think because of like the history and whatever, the ground, their sort of FA Cup run last year. But what are the sort of expectations, like the realistic expectations of the fans right now?
Just avoid relegation. I know everyone's having us to stay up no matter what, with the amount of signings we've made and big signings at that. A lot. I think we've spent the 7th most amount of money across Europe. That'll probably be top 5 by the end of next week. But realistically, it's just stay up. 17th place will do us quite happily. You know, as I say, we've signed all these big players, but all the club want to do this season is stay up. They'd like to stay up well. The Marinakis, the owner, he's come out and said that this is the start. He'd like to win trophies. But realistically, we all know that's not going to happen this season. There's a lot of new players on board. I mean, 13, 14 players probably by, again, the end of next week, with a couple more still to come through the door. So there's a lot of gelling to be done. There's a lot of work still to be done on the training ground. But if, you know, let's say we can get a draw, St. James's Park on Saturday against Newcastle, then head off to play West Ham at the City Ground, get maybe a 1-0 win there, that in my eyes is a perfect start to the season, because we've got a really tough month ahead of us. We've got Everton to play away, Tottenham at home, Man City away. Hey, look.
It was
Everton. No. I know. Don't get me wrong. I reckon Everton are going to struggle, but it's an away game for a newly promoted team. It's going to be tough away from home.
It was just the way you went, we've got a really tough month coming up. We've got Everton.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a really tough away place to go.
Well,
Watford stuck 5 past them last year there, so
yeah, fair enough.
Do you think your best set out of like all the promoted teams, like in the way you've dealt with the transfer window? Because I know Fulham are sort of like struggling, still like looking for players. Bournemouth done nothing. I don't know what they're doing. They got Sepp van den Berg from us. So do you think, like, as one of the new boys, you're probably like the most set to do something, or do you think like maybe 13, 14 signings is a bit too much?
To be fair, we didn't really have much choice in signing all these players. We had 5 loanees. We've let go of, you know, most of the core. So our main centre back, striker, captain, Lewis Graben's gone, among a couple of other players. Our goalkeeper's gone. So we had no choice. But look on the face of it, Bournemouth, they're scrounging around. They signed Joe Rothwell on a free from Blackburn, who's a good player, but he's not a game changer for the Premier League. They're in talks to sign Neto from Barcelona. He's not played in 2 years. He's 33. Fulham have got 2 fit centre backs. They're struggling for fitness and for injuries. You know, Marcus Silva and Scott Parker have come out and basically slammed their transfer budgets and gone, we can do nothing with this. They're worse off now than they were last season. So if I'm being honest, I reckon, yeah, we are best set compared to the other 2 promoted teams, but we've also got a lot to gel. Whereas, like Fulham, they pretty much got the same team. They didn't really have many loanees. They've lost Neco Williams, who's come to us from you guys. But they seem pretty set. And like Ben's saying, Fulham's not going to be an easy game for you guys opening day. It's not all. They've got a new stand that's just opened up, sellout crowd, on a bounce. That place is going to be rocking on Saturday for the 12:30 kickoff. So, yeah, I reckon we're best set out the 3 promoted teams, but Fulham aren't a bad team on paper. Bournemouth at bottom of the league. There's no question about it.
Yeah, it's all about how Mitrovic is going to perform, to be honest, mate.
I know as well, just on that Fulham point as well, like, I know COVID football didn't exist in our eyes, but they did beat us last time they played as Fulham. And I know that's probably erased from everyone's memory, I know that, but they beat us. Lamina, 1-0. Salah caught the ball at his feet in the box.
That's probably the lowest I've ever felt as a fan.
Yeah, that was the 6th home defeat in a row. So we owe these guys one.
That's mad.
We rested
with Fabio, so hopefully Fabio gets on at some point. And
the thing is with Fulham, we say the same things every time they come up. Recently, they make some smart signings, and you're sitting there going, "Oh, this could be the one." You know, picked up, you know, Paulinho from Sporting. He's playing Champions League football like a year ago. Andres Pereira, you know, he was a Man United player. Who else did they picked up? They got someone else. Ben Leno, former Arsenal #1. He's not exactly a bad player, but you just know that come February they'll be 19th.
Yeah.
Done. Like, it's the exact same thing every year.
That's true.
Yeah, no, it's true. I remember the window where they got like John Michel Seri. They got a few other big boys, and you're like thinking, yeah, like, and like I don't know, Fulham just feel like a Premier League team. To me, they don't feel like a yo-yo team. but they are a yo-yo team. They're Norwich, they're Watford. I don't know why. I like Craven Cottage as a stadium. I think it's quite a unique stadium. Fulham have always been a team that play attractive football, so like there is that to them. But yeah, look, they can play their attractive football and beat City, Spurs, Chelsea, United, Arsenal, but they ain't beating us. But you guys had a little preview of what I was going to go to next, and I'm going to the man Tom, and I might try and spotlight him here. Right, how are we doing this? God, does this work? No.
What are you doing?
Right, we're just gonna keep it nice and simple.
There we go.
Tom, just talk us through this. Just talk us through this table.
Well, at first off, it's not a prediction; it's a spoiler. I don't do predictions; I do spoilers. This is how it's ending. We're winning the league because not only are we good enough to win the league, but there's so many factors going against Man City, i.e. the World Cup. They always have traditionally slow starts, but they always recover straight after the first international break. Instead of it being 3 games before the first international break, it's 8 this time. So they've got a longer spell before Pep Guardiola can get his players together and properly have just a good little time to iron out all their errors. Top 4, Spurs and Chelsea. Arsenal miss out because they've got Europa League. So I think what will happen is they'll be in and around the scene, and then come mid-March, start of April, when they're in the latter stages of Europa League and challenging for top 4, one of them will fall off. They'll fall off in one way because they're not good enough, and it'll be the lead of. I think Arteta will just focus on getting that trophy through the door. West Ham's 6th because I think I actually like a lot of the signs they've made. They've just got Cornet in from Burnley as well, which is another really smart pickup. They've got Skamaka up front. They've spent £30 million on a centre-back. They're buying a £35 million midfielder. You know, they're making smart investments. And I think United just have so much crap to get through in that squad that it's going to take longer than a year for Ten Hag to really get it going. Newcastle, Villa, Wolves, Brighton, they could go anywhere. They're all just going to be like in and around that scene. Leicester in 12th is because Brendan Rodgers is crap. The man's lost that dressing room fully. Like, no, I don't. Do any of his midfielders want to stay? Do any of them want to stay? Maddison wants Newcastle. Tielemans just wants to go. You can keep him Ndidi. That's about it.
Do you reckon there's a possible relegation battle on the cards for them? Because I know lots of people have them down because they've not made signings, but like they've not made signings and everyone's sort of improved. Like if they don't get off to a good start and that those midfield want out by January, like I wouldn't be surprised if they're in a relegation battle, to be honest.
There's the potential. I just think that Rodgers will get sacked before then, and they'll bring in someone who will steady the ship and just clear them out. And there's as much as they've got squad morale concerns, there's a lot worse teams in this league than them. Quality-wise, they've still got enough quality to stay up. Leeds was one that I got a question about, like a couple ones. I just think last year with Leeds, they finished like 10th in the first year. And then last year was a really down year, but they had so many injury problems last year. I remember they went to White Hart Lane with like a front 3 of Gelhardt, James, and some random kid who did not play the senior game of football because they were that strapped for senior first team players. So I think they'll have a rebound this year. And I think I do like some of the young signings that they've made. I've got Forest staying up, but I've got Forest staying up because Everton, Fulham, Bournemouth are just worse. And I'm so ready for this Everton relegation. So ready. I want nothing more than Everton to have to spend a year in the Championship. It would make it even better if we win the league as well. Yeah. If we win the league and they're down in a relegation battle, I'm all for that. And it's such a real possibility. Because the squad isn't good enough. Calvert-Lewin's now out for 1 to 3 months because he's torn a ligament in his knee. So Salomon Rondon's starting. Big ups to Salomon Rondon.
He's suspended, actually.
The defense, they've got no striker. They've got no striker.
In the false line. Oh my god.
The defense is one of the most horrific things I've seen because they've bought in Tarkowski. Michael Keane starting first game of the season. Michael Keane, Seamus Coleman, right hand side is like League One standard. Not even Championship, it's League One standard. I've seen better defending in League Two football matches than what you get regularly from Michael Keane and Seamus Coleman. Like, they are in so much trouble. And with it being like, who they signed? They signed Dwight McNeil, who I actually really liked before he went to Everton. Now it's a bit like, They bought a left back, which is the one position where they had enough depth.
Yeah.
And who else?
Tarkowski, that's it.
Vinagre.
They are,
they've already said Vinagre.
Yeah, they are in talks, according to The Athletic, to sign Connor Cody on loan, which I reckon you boys are just going to laugh at.
Why?
Okay.
Wait, what?
There we go. So Wolves want to let him
ready?
go. So Wolves want to let him go. They're not too interested in keeping him. And he wants to get as much game time as he can before the World Cup. Everton want him.
He's not going to play, though. He, in the nicest possible way, Connor Cody only works in a back five, and Frank Lampard is trying to play a back four.
Connor Cody's
Connor
also a
Cody
red,
just
so
won't
I
play.
don't see him going there.
But he needs game time, so he's happy to really go wherever he can. You put those different. I mean, Jamie Carragher was an Everton fan, wasn't he, as a kid?
Yeah. It just makes no sense why Cody would go. You're captain of a team that's actually defensively solid. You're at a stable club. You don't want to go to that circus over there at Everton, which is a club you actually don't really want to play for. Like, it actually makes no sense. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he just wants to, like, I don't know.
He just wants to bolster his World Cup chances, and that's why it looks like it's going to be a loan move. Well, no, to be fair, look on paper of it, he would actually get at least in the 27-man squad before.
I don't think he does. I really don't think.
I don't think he's good enough. But
your
he's
shout about Joe Worrell might not be far off then if Connor Cody's getting him, mate.
Like, Southgate just needs to realise there is another league than the Bundesliga and the Premier League. You have one of the best defenders in Serie A, who you were forced to pick last year because you didn't pick him for the whole year. Like, Connor Cody, that man could go to Man City and play game after game after game. He's not getting in that England squad for this World Cup. Not a chance. We have evolved past Connor Cody, and it annoys me because as much as Connor Cody shouldn't be going, another man who shouldn't be going is Tyrone Mings. Well, Tyrone Mings has the gift of being left-footed, so Tyrone Mings gets a bye because you need left-footed centre-backs.
Which things aren't looking too good for him down at Aston Villa, are they? Because he's been stripped to the captaincy and his place under threat because they brought Diego Carlos in, so it'd probably be him and Konza to start the season.
I think, mate, on that England thing, realistically, you've got Stones, Maguire, Tomori, Gahey, White, and then I think with the Khanage injury, we'll get into it, but Gomez can really put himself back into
Ezri Konsa as well. I like Ezri
Konsa as well. Yeah, I think Gomez, Konsa, like.
People are sleeping on Gomez just on that. I truly think I think people have forgotten how good he is.
But he's so versatile as well. Because I know England have got a lot of right back, too many right backs. But Joe Gomez, he can play there, can play centre back. He is versatile. He's quick as well, and he's in a great team that's always high on confidence. Joe Gomez he has to go to the World Cup if we're on that chart.
Well, but if you're thinking about someone else, Nat Phillips did get Liverpool top 4 one year. Like that is a big achievement in itself. He got Liverpool top 4. He's going off to Fulham now. He's not exactly got much competition in that Fulham central defence.
Is he going to Fulham?
I think so.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to Fulham, yeah.
Mate, if he goes to Fulham and puts in a few performances and there's a...
Come off it.
I'm not even... I don't think
it's stop it.
To be fair, none of them other centre-backs have done a Cruyff turn at the San Siro. So.
Exactly.
Well, tomorrow might have done.
Bloody hell, yeah. But that's a conversation for another time. I just want to go back. So I had them relegated. Liverpool over City. That's the one. Talk to me about it.
It's
just a fact. It's what's happening. That's all there is to say.
At the end of the day, everything points to it.
Yeah.
Our strikers adapted quicker than their one because their striker has now played the same amount of games against Adrian as Ollie Watkins and has 3 less goals than Ollie Watkins. So that's a fantastic record. we've always done really well bouncing back from tough losses. We lost the league and won the Champions League. We lost the Champions League like the year before that and had a really good season. You know, we've always done well off the back of you know, sort of disappointments. And now we've had 2-1. God knows what they're going to do this year. No one is safe now that we've had 2-1. And I also think people need to understand that the World Cup is going to be such a big factor. Yeah. This has never been experienced before. The fixture congestion up until the World Cup is nothing short of horrific. If we were to do what we done last year, which is play every single game possible, we would have 10 games in October. 10 games in 30 days in October. Like, it will kill teams, which is why I sat there and said, get us out the Carabao Cup early on, if needs be. Get us out the FA Cup early on, if needs be. We've got them. We've ticked them off. Go for them again next year when the fixture congestion isn't this bad. But the World Cup's such a really interesting one when you look at City and Liverpool, because in terms of starters, which is the big thing, we have about 3. 4 at a push if you count Darwin Núñez. You've got Alisson in goal, and even that's 50-50 with him and Ederson for some unknown reason. Van Dijk at the back, and Diogo Jota for Portugal. That's it. Yeah. In terms of who's going, that's it, because Trent will go and won't touch the pitch. Henderson will go and will barely touch the pitch. Khanage might go, depends on fitness of other centre-backs. Matip's not going. Gomez probably won't go. Thiago will go and will be a backup. Robertson's not going. Tsimikas isn't going. Diaz isn't going. Salah isn't going.
Yeah.
So we've got like another pre-season just halfway through the year. Whereas when you look at City, whereas we've got 3 starters in our squad as a whole, they've got 3 Portuguese starters on their own in Bernardo, Cancelo and Diaz. And people expect Portugal to go far. So they're going to be playing so much football leading up to the World Cup. Then a complete change around, playing as many games possible at that World Cup in a completely different climate, and then coming straight back, not even having a break, and going straight back into the action. It's going to cause so many injury problems, which is why I think us having so many players not going or playing bit part roles at most is going to be a key factor, because when you come to the end of the season, certain players will just be done. We saw it done last year with Salah. If you're playing that much football, it kills you off towards the end. You've just got nothing left. That could happen to a lot of Manchester City players this year, and that's got to be a concern for them.
It's Mahrez and Haaland, I believe. That's it. That's Everyone else seems to be going, which is crazy. And I agree. I think people are sort of underestimating that World Cup just because we've not had it yet. Like, we've never experienced it, so people don't know what the actual impact of that's going to be. Like, we saw the toll AFCON took on Mane and Salah, 2 of the fittest footballers in world football, right? Like, unbelievably, like Salah went 120 minutes in all his games, in all his knockout games, played every single minute of it. So like,
I think we made a mistake there. I think we should have sent him away, even though he would have missed a couple of games for us. I think in the long run, maybe for him, it would have, benefited him. But I get the reason for not doing that. But yeah,
he wanted to come back though, didn't he? Like, to be fair, I think if I was him, you're either sitting there on holiday watching games go by, like, you're not contributing goals to the Prem, and you've just lost AFCON. You kind of just want to be away from that and just try and get back. Like, he didn't know he was going to go on a bit of a barren spell. So
it's that Leicester game. He rushed himself back for that Leicester game. Nearly scored twice. Like, he should have had a penalty with one of them and then hit the bar. So like, I think if one of them goes in, it's a completely different story. I just think he had that really bad run once he initially rushed himself back, and his confidence took a minor hit, and then it all just sort of spiraled, because you got like a brace against Leeds, both with penalties, a goal against Norwich, which, let's be honest, I wouldn't even flex a goal against Norwich. It's Norwich. And you got the brace against United towards the back end of the year, which I think helped out his overall performances towards the back end as well. Gave him that added little boost, which I think he needed at the time. But I think there is major concerns at City with that.
Yeah, no, it is fine margins. I think was it Van Dijk even touched on this? like, might even if Salah's only human, the contract talks maybe had an effect on him. Like, I'm sure he would have said, "Nah, they didn't." Like, he's an ultra pro, whatever. But yeah, like he's a human. Like these things, like all this talk around you can have an effect. But yeah, it is fine margins. Like if you go back to the League Cup final when he dinks it, and Thiago Silva clears it off the line, like
God.
it's just like that. If that goes in, that's the winner. The narrative.
We've got our non-penalty goal in finals. Come on, the boys. They can't run agendas anymore. That was all I was thinking.
I don't care. He can score as many penalties in finals as he wants, as long as they go in. Ben, I'm gonna come to you. Today I got a bit of a screenshot here. I'm not gonna put it up, but I screenshotted this. Looks like from your boys actually, Tat, the Anfield Talk. Looks like Tsimikas, Khanage, Keita, Phillips, Kelleher, Ramsey, Jota, and Jones were absent from training today. Add Mr. Cripple, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and that's 9 first-team squad members out before the first game of the season. How are you feeling?
I think we need a bit more information before I panic and melt down. I think Khanage, from what I've read at least, doesn't seem too bad. But then again, we've heard that before. Curtis Jones, I don't think is too bad. I think the only one that you'd think, oh, we're not going to see this guy for a long time is Ox. But then you can say, oh, when does he play anyway? Even when he's fit, he's a water boy, you know what I mean? So he's not really a loss. And I know people were saying like, oh, Klopp said if we get an injury to a player, we're going to dip into the market. But I don't think Oxlade-Chamberlain counts in that quote. I said on Twitter today, if it was an injury to Fabinho or Thiago, then of course there's absolutely no excuse to not go out and sign somebody right now. But I'm relaxed. I'm fine. I think, most of those players, Jota, I hope is nearly there. I think, it still might be a couple more weeks. Naby, I think, is ill. I don't think. Did you say Naby? Yeah. So
is that illness? All right.
Yeah. It's not an injury. And then who else did you say? Sorry, Tsimikas. I don't know what's happened with him. Does anybody know?
Tsimikas.
You done a Muslim pre-season, and we just haven't risked him again.
Calvin Ramsey as well. I really wanted him to come back because for that first cup game, I want him to have a proper run out because obviously he didn't kick a ball in pre-season, which was a bit of a shame. So it's disappointing, but I think there's still enough there for us to, get off to a decent start.
That's the problem with Ramsey and Jota though. They're not just like, it's not like they're going to recover from injury. Like they've got to build themselves up to match fitness, which is going to take another few weeks. So like you can add a few weeks onto that. Jones is what, 2 to 4 weeks? Like that's hampered his.
That's a weird one. I don't know how he's managed that.
He was in a brace, wasn't he?
Came on for a min.
I don't know what he's done. Has he tripped over celebrating the trophy or something? I don't know how you've managed to get a 4-week injury, but
chance into Joe probably.
Yeah, the meltdown's been ridiculous. I'm sitting there seeing people go, oh, Klopp is a liar to an nth degree, but they call him a liar for not buying a midfielder at this point. So that man rocked up to White Hart Lane and benched Oxlade-Chamberlain and played Tyler Morton instead. Like he don't trust my man. He doesn't want him here. We've tried to offload him to Fulham twice, but he kept getting injured before we could get the sale over the line. Like he doesn't want Ox. He doesn't trust Ox. Jones is another one. Like people will sit there. It's so two-faced to me. Like sit there and go, oh, Jones and Ox shouldn't play, and then when they get injured, it's what are we gonna do? The injury crisis is ridiculous. Buy a midfielder. You're buying a midfielder to replace exactly 0 minutes for while they're out, because at this point in the season, the fixture congestion isn't going to be a concern yet. We've still got 1 game a week, and then there might be the occasional 2. So with what we've got available, we will be perfectly fine to manage through that. Right now, I don't know about everyone else. I bet Ben might disagree with right central midfield, but right now, none of my starters are injured. And half my bench options on.
No, so I'm with you on the Harvey hype. Ask Elliot. I'm with you. I'm fully there.
Are you a Harvey starter, Tom?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. No, I like that. I mean, look, we saw what he was doing at the start of last season. Him, Thiago, Fabinho, like the way they controlled games. That Leeds game before the injury stands out. Like that fierce Ellen under Bielsa, all over the place, all over you like a rash, and like the composure of a 18, 19-year-old kid just to turn up and just dictate the game with Thiago. It was a thing of beauty. So I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
Elliott's got a Harvey Elliott agenda, so it'll be
No.
He
Right.
thinks Brennan Johnson's a better footballer
No,
than
don't.
Harvey
Right, okay, right. Do not put me like this on a live stream.
Where's Brennan Johnson's Young Player of the Year trophy? I rest my case.
He won it last year.
I thought Carvalho won it last year.
No, Carvalho was nominated. Brennan Johnson won it.
Oh no!
Oh.
My agenda, no! My agenda, no! No.
Yeah, Brennan won Young Player of the Year. Now, Harvey Elliott, I think he's a brilliant talent. I think he's a great player.
Oh no!
From what I've seen of him in the Championship at Blackburn and then at Liverpool so far, I mean, Ben reckons he's a new generation of Messi. I don't believe he's that good. Exactly. I don't believe he's that good. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's a great player, and I really hope he fulfills his potential because he'll be brilliant for England.
Ben might have a point. Where is Lionel Messi's volley in the fourth round of the FA Cup versus Cardiff? Like that's where you go from good to great. That's the sort of stuff you need. Where's his eighth round penalty in the Carabao Cup final? This is the stuff that pushes you up these levels. None of this 800 plus senior goals and all that. That's irrelevant. I could do that. It's that elite stuff that you need from players like Harvey Elliott. That's why I love his confidence. We need that confidence. Fabinho Thiago offers so much defensive solidity, very underrated defensive solidity with Thiago especially. Yeah. You need a creative outlet in that midfield though, and Harvey Elliott gives you that. And I know he hasn't played there at all this pre-season, but I was also toying with the idea of maybe allowing Fabio Carvalho to get minutes there because while on paper it's a right central midfield role, often in transition he ends up in the number 10 spot. But while before Salah gets there, our right central midfielder is a number 10 for the attacking part of it. So if you want to get Carvalho minutes, which I think he very much deserves based off pre-season, that's another option you can explore. But I've got, in terms of right central midfield, I know I'm on the Bellingham hype train. You get me Jude Bellingham right now, I'm over the moon. But I don't have any concerns, major concerns, compared to other people who think it's the be-all, end-all to win the league title. And the arguments that get thrown against the young lads, they're not experienced enough. The pair of them have played over 50 senior games, a number of them in the Premier League, and Fabio Carvalho has scored in the Premier League before. So, this isn't a situation where we've just plucked them from the academy and thrown them in the deep end. These lads know what it's like to play at this level of football. And should we have to put so much pressure and faith on them? Probably not. But is it going to be a bad thing for them? I don't think so. I think from what I've seen from the pair of them, these two are players that thrive under the pressure. Diamonds in the rough, tell you.
They're really, really good players. So I was just going to say...
Go on.
I was just going to say, because I've seen both of them frequently, obviously, in the Championship, because I've followed it with Forest, but I've pretty much watched most Championship games.
Both clear of Brennan Johnson.
Right, well, that's a separate topic. But Fabio Carvalho, the way he plays is in such a free roaming role. He just floats across, like you were just saying there, Tom, that in your transition, he could easily appear as at number 10, but at the same time, he can pop out wide. And he has such confidence for a young player. He's got really good experience as well. You've got to bear in mind, Fulham didn't just win the league last season, the Championship. They walked it. They absolutely demolished that league. And Fabio Carvalho was a big, big part of that. Mitrovic broke the goal record with, I think, 46 goals. Most of those were created either as an assist or a pre-assist by Fabio Carvalho. And Harvey Elliott, he had a bit of injury trouble last season, but he's had an extra year there to grow around this amazing Liverpool team. And just from that video, I think that I sent to the chat the other day, Ben, you know, that one where they were taking selfies and handing it to each other. Like, you can see how much someone like Virgil van Dijk and Harvey Elliott get along with each other just by little videos like that. The connection and the chemistry is already building there. So I see loads of Liverpool fans on Twitter melting down that Ben reacts to, and it's quite funny. But they're all reacting and going, "Oh, we need someone." Nah, you don't. You honestly don't, because you've got those two young players there to come in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, alongside Keita, alongside other players.
You're bang on. I think
Naby's about to sign a new deal, by the way. So
who did?
Naby's very close to signing a new deal.
Naby lad.
I'm like, if you offered me Jude Bellingham right now, I'd take him. But
of course,
I don't want any Tom, Dick, or Harry. No. I want I want the best in that position if we're gonna upgrade, because realistically, the players we have to play in that position, like depth wise, very underrated, right? We have Henderson, right? Whatever you think about him, Henderson will always have value on this Liverpool team for, I'd say, the next, like, there is Henderson will have value on this Liverpool squad, no doubt, right? He's not going to play every game, so let's not have a meltdown about that. But he's going to add value in certain moments, right? Naby Keita, Ben, you're going to love this, but in that run-in, Naby Keita was like in that starting midfield. He had Henderson out of the team. He was a sort of like that FA Cup semi-final performance against City. That was an incredible performance. And then I don't want some random guy coming in and taking Harvey Elliott's minutes, taking Fabio Carvalho minutes. Because
what's the point in having these young players if you don't play them? How else are you going to develop?
And Klopp trusts these guys. Like, that's the whole thing about Klopp. Like, he sees these talents. He didn't bring Fabio Carvalho to sit on the bench and watch guys older than him play. He brought him in to play. So there's
he's done this in the past as well. Look at how he brought through Trent. He gave him a baptism of fire at Old Trafford away for your Prem debut. He actually done really quite well that game. I know the year after was a bit dodgier, but that first game in the horrific green kit, he was actually very good at right back. And then if we'd have done what everyone was saying at the time and go and buy a right back for Klein, Trent doesn't play, Trent doesn't develop, no corner taken quickly. What do we do then? Like, you've got to give these youngsters a chance to develop. They need to play at this level. They've smashed it in the Championship. It's the logical next step to play in the Premier League. And to me, anyway, it doesn't make sense to loan them out to Bournemouth or something, and then they play 30 games when they could stay here, easily play more depending on how far we go in cups, because they'll get a lot of game time in the cups, especially. But they also get to work with better quality players here, and they'll still, because they're that good and Klopp has that much faith, they'll still touch the Premier League pitch at least 20 times this season, even more depending on how well they perform in them. So I'm really on this hype train of them, really believe in them, and I think this is a big opportunity this season for them to stake a claim next year and show that, yes, Jude Bellingham could well come in, but I still deserve my game time. I still need my game time. You can't forget about us too. That's why I think it's big.
I think if you look at football now, especially with the 5 subs, I know people are obsessed with the idea, the concept of a starting 11 and having the best starting 11. Football has never been more of a squad game than it is now.
It's not. Yeah.
Football is, you've got 16 players to use over 90 minutes. It's how do you use them? So, like, we've seen with the Champions League last year how Klopp sort of plays it, right? He makes his changes on 60 minutes. It's planned. But you've got guys who, like, can give their absolute all, knowing they're going to be on the pitch for 60 minutes, and then you've got potential game changers and likes of Elliott, Carvalho coming on for the last 30, who explosive footballers. Like, just seeing them in the League Cup, I keep calling it League Cup, Community Shield final, just like they're up there against like an extremely strong Man City side. They're fearless. I love that about them. I love that about Harvey Elliott. So I think it's a big season for Elliott. It's a big season for Carvalho. Curtis Jones, if he gets his act together, it's a big season. He's a very young player. I think because he's been around longer, people like shiny new toys. All right, people like maybe guys who are a bit more dynamic and explosive. But Curtis Jones, let's respect the job he did for us last season. I think he put in some big performances in and around when he got those 3 assists at Porto.
Yeah, he had that run of games, didn't he?
Yeah,
from like Brentford to Brighton, I think it was that run of 5-6 games, where I thought he was actually quite good, contrary to popular belief. I think Curtis Jones gets so criminally overhated in the squad. Don't get me wrong, he's not lighting the world up, and I don't think he's got the potential that Carvalho and Elliott do.
Yeah.
But I also think that we judge him by unrealistic standards, because the man came through our youth setup for near on 10 years as a left winger. And then once he finally broke into the first team, that role didn't exist anymore. So he had to then readapt into a central midfielder, which he hadn't played mainly for at least 5 years. So once he'd done that, there's aspects to his game which are issues. His decision making at times can make you want to pull your hair out. But that's all stuff that can be learned and will be learned with game time. Everything that you need from a footballer that you cannot teach, the intangibles, Curtis Jones has them. Would he benefit from a loan? I don't know everyone else. I think he would. If you could get him to a Bournemouth or a Fulham this year, I would do. But the issue then arises where Curtis Jones is in a weird spot in our squad for me where he's not good enough to start and challenge regularly, but he's also too good to loan out and lose him as a squad option just in case. He's in a weird middle ground. So I think next year, if we can bring in the midfielders that people think we can do, Curtis Jones would really benefit from a loan move then. But this year, I haven't got very high expectations. I just want him to keep coming in and doing his job, which he's done for the past couple of years.
Yeah. No, mate. I agree. I think with Jones, it's like people have this sort of fetish with like producing the Trents, the Gerrards out of our academy. Like sometimes you do need the Joneses, these sort of guys who like, yeah, they might not be absolutely generational talents, but they're guys that are absolutely invaluable from the academy that can do a job, can sit in the squad, and can play a part when they need to play a part. So I think, yeah, everyone just wants the best out of the academy, and if it isn't, it's like, get rid of him. But there's a part to play. Like I'll refer to it. Like this will be my sort of agenda this season about it being a 16-man like game now, because it is, and that's how I think smart managers will be using it. I know Guardiola likes to be a bit edgy and not make subs, but like Klopp knows what he's doing. You're using 16 players. You're using them methodically. Like that's the game now. Football is as much pure as it is science. So just accept it and move on. These guys, they're going to get minutes because of the subs situations, because of the fixture, like the heavy fixture like list before the World Cup, after the World Cup. So yeah, and Jones is only 21. But out of the like sort of Liverpool top of the table sort of bracket, beyond that, Chelsea, Ben, have been doing some business. Cucurella was a bit of a shambles yesterday on Twitter. I didn't know what was going on. Apparently, Fabrizio was about to hold that, but apparently he pulled it back around. So I didn't see. Where did you have Chelsea in your Premier League predictions?
I got them 5th.
Why? Do you think if they get Cucurella, if they maybe get like an Aubameyang, do you think that again makes them the third best squad, or do you think there's serious problems there, mate?
No, I just think it lies deeper than the players that they've got, and they've already spent loads of money. They had that window where they spent 250 million, and they've done it again. And I know Koulibaly, I think that's probably, in my opinion, the best signing they've made in terms of like improvements. I think him and Thiago Silva in about 5, they're going to be really good together. But I'm just not convinced on Tuchel. Like we saw it so much last season. There was like so many things when Chelsea play, you think I'm not sure about that. And my main thing is you can see Arsenal, and I know they didn't get top 4, but you can see what Arteta's doing, and they're kind of going up. And it's just like Chelsea, it's still too early to tell because obviously these predictions might be completely wrong. But in my opinion, I just don't know about Chelsea. I don't trust Tuchel when everyone else is improving. I don't really like his system. I know it doesn't matter because I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I just think Arsenal are on the rise, and I do think it's the year. I predicted Arsenal to get 4th last season, to be honest, and I was very nearly right. So I think that Jesus signings, Zinchenko, Saliba coming back. Apparently, he's the new Van Dijk according to Arsenal fans. So he must be very good. So yeah, for me, it's more of Arsenal improving on what they needed to improve on. Arteta having another year in the job, whereas Tuchel, after winning the Champions League, I'm not entirely sure how much he can improve as a manager. It seems like when it gets tough at Chelsea, they kind of seem to lose the dressing room a little bit. And yeah, they have these freak results where they can just go and get back. Like Everton beat them, didn't they, in that running at the end of the season, which is just ridiculous. So for me, I don't rate Tuchel as a manager, and I've got a little thread on Twitter where I'm just going to put in like any predictions that come to mind. And my first one was Tuchel doesn't see out the season. So yeah,
I think I've seen that more often than like you'd think, to be honest. But I mean, you know what's funny about that? That Chelsea have made what Koulibaly, Sterling, Cucurella, three huge signings, right? But everyone is sort of talking up Spurs, talking up Arsenal, both making the smart signings. It's like it's that classic, right? Let's look at who's making the smart signings. Let's not just see on paper who's making the big flashy signings, because how many times in the past have we seen teams? We saw it with United last year, make these big flashy signings, and like everyone's like, right, screw that. I'm a Twitter tactico. I think I'm one as well. Arsenal with their smart City-like signings and Conte with his Conte-like signings, they're going to be amazing. Do you think it's people are just sort of now on the other side where they're underrating the fact that Chelsea have arguably two world-class players and one future world-class player, Elliott? Do you think? Because Elliott, I loved, because like me, Ben, Tom, we're Liverpool fans, and like on our shows, like there's normally like Chelsea, United, Spurs, Arsenal fans, whatever. I didn't mention City for a reason. As like a sort of, I don't want to disrespect you because you guys have 2 Champions Leagues, but as a sort of club that's not in that big 6.
Well, mate, don't disrespect. We're not a top 6 club.
How do you sort of look at it from the outside? Do you see like what we see, that Spurs are the 3rd best team in the league now, that Chelsea are struggling, or do you just think, wow, like Chelsea, like I wish we could make those signings essentially, and think they're all right?
It's a difficult one. And I know that's the easy cop-out answer, but you look at Tottenham's squad and everyone's going crazy about them, saying how good the team looks. If you actually look at their defence, it's still not as good as, let's say, Chelsea, for example, who've got Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, Aspilicueta, who's still got a couple of years left in him at least. Tottenham have still got Ben Davies battling for spots. Eric Dyer, I've never been a fan of him. So on the face of things, yes, Tottenham have made some really good additions. Bissouma, Jed Spence, obviously I'm going to say that. They've kept hold of Kane and Son for another year. Kulusevski's come back. But is it the 3rd best team in the league? I don't know if it is. Same with Arsenal. Well, I believe Tottenham and Arsenal will get 3rd and 4th. Arsenal squad, they've still got Arteta in charge, and I don't particularly rate him. And I don't think this Amazon documentary is going to particularly help with that.
Yeah, was the speakers not a good plan? The speakers were a fantastic
plan. We don't know what that's about, but like they've still got players like Tomiyasu at right back, and their backup right back is Cedric. Why have they not addressed this position? Like that is such a big position in a team. You look at how dangerous that can be for other teams. Liverpool with Trent, Manchester City with Walker or Cancelo playing there. Chelsea with Reece James. Right back, they've got Tomiyasu, who's okay defensively, but he offers nothing going forward. So again, I look at those teams.
Bellerin's back from loan, mate.
Is he going to play though? Is he going to play? And even if he does, is he good enough?
Not in trees, mate. That's what he's doing.
So, like you're asking me, if have Tottenham got the 3rd best team in the league? I believe that Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, and I'm not going to lie, not Man United. They're not part of the conversation. The 3 London clubs there have got pretty much the joint 3rd best team in the league, which technically makes them the 5th best team in the league.
West Ham are close as well. I think West Ham are very close.
I agree. West Ham, they've kept the core of the squad. They've still kept Declan Rice. They've made really good additions. They're about to sign Philip Kostic, who comes with fantastic reviews from Frankfurt over in Germany. And Frankfurt won the Europa League last season. They're not a bad team.
Kostic has some mad assist record. I think he's got 50 assists in the past 5 years or something. Like he's averaged 10 assists. Yeah.
Exactly. So, they are building a good team.
Elliot, do you think they're in a conference, aren't they? Do you think that's going to hinder them, though, or do you think they'll just
West Ham
go for the league?
I reckon that's going to hinder them greatly, but I don't think they'll prioritise that, to be honest. I think they'll prioritise the top 6 finish, get the Europa League. There's no guarantees they'll go all the way in the Conference League. I've got no idea off the top of my head who's in that league this season, but they're tough teams. Last season, Rome were in it. Of course, they won it, but there's big teams like that will be chasing that silverware. Well, yeah, Tottenham were, but they went out in the end in the group stages, and that
gets so overlooked that people need to question that. How Tottenham went out in the group stage of the Conference League?
It's terrible.
Brendan Rodgers didn't even know it existed before he got put in.
But anyway, my point is that everyone keeps banging on about how close Tottenham are going to be this season to Liverpool and Man City. Sorry, but no, there is no chance. Yes, they've got a good team, but the disparity between the top two and the rest of the league has never been big. It's getting bigger and bigger year on year. And in this season, it's just got even bigger because, like, the signings of Núñez and Haaland, whatever you guys think of Haaland, they've improved both teams. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for top four. And fair play to anyone if they get it correct. But, yeah, Man United are a different question, a different story. They're nowhere near the mark. And they've arguably got one of the worst midfields in the league. But I presume that's a conversation for a different day.
Chelsea's an interesting one. I've got them finishing fourth. I just think that in terms of, I don't think they'll go far in Champions League. I really don't. I don't think that, even though they won it a couple of years ago and people say, oh, is their squad made the Champions League? I don't think so. They haven't addressed their main issue, which is getting someone who can kick the round thing in the back of the net consistently. I don't know who their top scorer was last year. I'm pretty sure it was Lukaku.
With like 2 goals or something.
I think Lukaku was their top scorer last year. And that says everything if Lukaku is your top scorer. So they still haven't addressed that. I think Koulibaly for Rudiger is either like for like or a very, very slight downgrade. I do quite like the signing of Sterling. I think it's a really good pickup. But you'll only get the best out of him if you buy a striker who can kick it in the net consistently. Like it's such a simple concept that they haven't mastered. And I also think that it comes down to experience at the end of the day. Like when you're looking at it, Arsenal, Tottenham and Chelsea are the three that are in and around there. Tottenham have the momentum off last season because they ended so strong, won like 6 or 7 on the bounce and got top 4 on the last day over Arsenal. Arsenal not only have lost the momentum, but I also don't think they've got the necessary experience yet. I'm backing them to win the Europa League, and that'll be a big help for experience. But right now, when the going gets tough, I just think Arsenal cave in. I don't think they've got the mentality in that squad. It's not a bad thing. It's such a young squad. It hasn't had the time to go through all the hardships to get the right mentality and all that. Whereas Chelsea, look at some of the experienced pros you've got in that team that can drag you through games. Thiago Silva, N'Golo Kante, Azpilicueta, Raheem Sterling, even the likes of Mount and James, even at their young age, they're experienced at this point in their careers. So that if it gets tight towards the back end of the year, and it gets tough towards the back end of the year, and between Chelsea and Arsenal, I'm backing Chelsea. So I just think when you get to them games, like your Southampton, like your Brighton, where Arsenal slipped up last year, Chelsea can grind out the results that they need. Manchester United aren't even in this conversation. Manchester United, I don't know if they're going to get Europe next year. They could very well finish 8th.
Just a quick question there, Tom.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, like you're on about there with the inexperience of Arsenal. What do you reckon to Odegaard being named captain?
I like Odegaard as a player, but he's not a leader, is he? He doesn't exactly strike me as someone who, on the pitch, can rouse the players. Look at all the other captains the big 6 have. Chelsea's is Cesar Azpilicueta. Been there, done that, got all the medals, carries that weight. Liverpool's Jordan Henderson. Been there, done that, got all the medals, carries that weight. Fantastic leader. Manchester City's, isn't it Ruben Diaz? Yeah. That presence, that aura, strikes leadership, brings players up around them. United's a whole different kettle of fish, isn't it? But you look at that Arsenal team, when the going gets tough.
We are talking about the top 6, Tom, to be fair. So
West Ham, definitely that's someone there. When you look at that Arsenal team, when you need your captain in certain games, you need your captain. And I know he's Norway captain, but who else have they got? Haaland, he's even younger. He's injured half the time. So when you look to your captain to drag you through when the going gets tough, Odegaard doesn't strike me as that in the position that he's in. Obviously, if you're a centre-back, you're not going to score the goals or win the games in that way. But centre-backs will be making their last-ditch tackles or organising that defensive line consistently, constantly getting on the backs. I just think that inexperience as a whole around Arsenal, the manager's inexperienced, the playing squad's inexperienced. I think the only trophy after them have won is an FA Cup, a couple of years ago. They need something this year. That's why I think they need to focus on the Europa League, because if you finish 6th because you focus on the Europa League and win the Europa League, you've achieved just as much. You've achieved more than 3rd, because you've got just the same qualification, but you've got a trophy to show at the end of it.
Yeah,
that's why I think they need to focus on it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the Europa League is going to be a route for you. Well, you look at United and Arsenal. Realistically, like it could come to March where they're thinking, right, what do we prioritize? That always happens with a team. Before we continue, guys, a few more of you popped in here, which means the Big Six has ended. Thank God. So you know what to do. You need to smash that like button, because last week was a bit poor, and the Prem
36 at the minute.
36. That's bad, guys. I'm gonna be aggressive with you today. Please just do it. Like, I literally live for likes. So just smash that like button. I'm not gonna say a word for 5 seconds. And there we go. You've definitely just smashed the like button. So right, I've had enough of like all these predictions, nonsense, whatever. Premier League season starts tomorrow. It starts with Palace. It starts with a Friday night kickoff at Selhurst Park. Arsenal getting the short straw again. Ben, like, well, I guess we're going to review a few of the games. What games are you sort of looking forward to this weekend, apart from Liverpool? And like, how do you think tomorrow night is going to sort of set the tempo for the Prem?
Yeah, first of all, I'm looking forward to all of them. Every single game. Can't wait. You know, the first few weeks of the season, I watch Match of the Day from the first minute until the end. And then some, you know, as it gets a bit further on into the season, some weeks I don't watch it. And I just love it. That feeling when the Premier League comes around again, it's just amazing. Like, I don't mind sitting down to watch Bournemouth play Fulham. Like, you know what I mean? So, no, I'm buzzing, mate. Tomorrow, Friday night football is always a good way to start. Brentford obviously beat Arsenal last time, which was wild. Like, that was just a crazy night. I think that was their first time fans were in the new ground, Elliot, if I'm right.
Yeah.
So there we go. It was just a special day, and it's going to be a tough game for Arsenal tomorrow. Like Palace, Vieira, I've got them high up in my predictions. I think I got them top 10 or thereabouts. So I think they'll have a really good season. Got some really good players. Michael Elise is one of my, you know, if someone says to me, "Oh, who's your favorite player from the rest of the teams?" It's probably him, just in terms of like players that I enjoy watching. And yeah, hopefully there'll be an upset, because it'll be hilarious, because I'll refer to them again. These Arsenal fans are getting a bit carried away. I think they're seeing everyone putting them in top 4 and they're letting it get to the head a bit. So it would be nice if Vieira does humble them a bit tomorrow and get something. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. In terms of the weekend, obviously our game is the only time I'm going to look forward to a 12:30 kickoff all season, just because it's the first one. I hate that time. It's an absolute joke. Especially, I know I'm not fortunate enough to get away tickets, but those guys that have to make that trip, it's a disgrace, to be honest. But it is what it is. And yeah, to be honest, Elliot, I'm going to be trying to find a stream for your game, because I want to see how you boys get on. It's away at Newcastle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's away at Newcastle. It's not easy start to the season at all.
I'm looking forward to that one, to be honest. And yeah, just all of them, mate. I haven't even seen the rest of the game, so I don't. Saturday night's Everton Chelsea, isn't it?
Oh yes, I can't wait for that one. I cannot lose either way there. I cannot lose either.
Yeah.
Everton win and Frank Lampard stays in a job for at least another month, because he's got that win to hold on to. Or Chelsea absolutely batter Everton.
Oh yeah, it would.
I can't lose.
That's probably what I'd prefer, to be honest, just to start off the season.
I prefer the Everton win.
I don't know.
I think because like Chelsea are, because Everton ain't gonna do anything this season, right?
Neither Chelsea.
I'll put my future mortgage. I'll put everything on it. They ain't getting in that top 10, right? Oh God, I shouldn't say that on stream.
No, you should not.
I shouldn't say that on stream.
They're not getting.
I'm that confident.
They're not getting top 10.
No, I don't think so. But you know.
So I just would think, with everything that Chelsea have been through, right? They've been absolutely slandered all transfer window. You can't. Ted Burley, whatever his name is, Wait, right? Yeah, Ted Bowley. What is he doing? He's having dinner in Barcelona. I don't know.
He's playing Football Manager, mate, like Tom on stream.
Manager or whatever. Yeah, he's so funny. I think he's hilarious. I think he's being such a character in the Prem. I think Americans, yeah, like fair enough. Like I know a lot of people that are American that know a lot about football, but I think like they just naturally just hold a lot from us in the UK about football. It's just like a thing. So
it was the fact that they got rejected for like the third player to Barca, and then just sits there and goes, "Should we all have a dinner together, everyone? Let's all gather together, first time, have a nice chat, get to know everyone." Like I could just imagine Julian Ward rocking up to that, going, "What am I doing here? What am I doing here? Why am I here?"
It's so funny because they've gone from like Abramovich, who's notoriously one of the most ruthless guys in football. Well, in other contexts as well, but now they've gone to Bowley, who's like a character of The Simpsons or like some American sitcom show. So I just think it's hilarious. But look, he's pumping money into them, so that's the least they can ask for.
That Sunday game, by the way, I think we should talk about that. West Ham City.
Oh, West Ham City.
Oh, what
I've got that down as a West Ham win, you know.
Yeah, a bit of a bogey team, aren't they?
At the London Stadium as well. Get all the new signings in, apart. I think the centre-back's injured, so get the majority of them in. That West Ham team, you should not sleep on that team. It's actually a very strong team. You've got one of Areola or Fabianski in goal. They're fine. I don't think they'll have Kostic yet, but then Cresswell's good. Scouser. I like Cresswell. Yeah. Kurt Zouma, when he's not doing unsavoury things, is a very good centre-back. Craig Dawson. Who doesn't love a bit of Craig Dawson? Declan Rice and Souček, fantastic midfield base. And they've got a really exciting attack that's brewing there. And that Scamacca that they've signed, smashed it up in Serie A last year. He's just massive. He's like 6'5" or something. So you can just imagine how many crosses West Ham are putting in. Like, I can't wait for when it's West Ham Man United and they've got Lissandro Martinez, Mark and Craig Dawson and Scamacca. I want to see his 80% aerial success rate then.
Mate, if you start that team at Upton Park, that team wins the league. I'm telling you. If you the height.
That team with Dimitri Payet as well. Oh my God.
Dimitri Payet, get Rory Delap lobbing them in. Oh my God. That is football heaven. That is football heaven. That would be insane. That's a massive team. Thing is, with West Ham, they got lucky last season because they didn't have any depth, but they didn't get any injuries. Like now, you run through the team, you're going through it. Right back, you've got Soufal, Ben Johnson. You've got Ogbonna. Ogbonna's not there anymore. It's Aguerd, Zouma, Dawson. What's the other guy?
As well.
Is a Diop. We've got is Masuaku still there? Kostic maybe.
They loaned them out now. They loaned Masuaku out to get Kostic in, but they've still got Cresswell and Kostic for left back.
But even
Lanzini's
that pivot in mid
around as well. So Lanzini can play about anywhere.
Flynn Downs, very underrated signing from the Championship, was doing good things for Swansea. Onana now midfield. Then they've got that attack: Scamacca, Antonio, Bowen, Lanzini, Benrahma.
Fornals as well.
Fornals, mate. It's a better squad than United for sure. The way I look at it, which I think that like people are saying, oh, West Ham, they're gonna just drop off. I'm seeing a lot of. I do actually want to. So Elliot, so say you were to have a derby, would Aston Villa be your derby?
Hey?
Say you were to. Is that a derby? Is that sort of?
Mate, did you not study geography? At school?
No.
Mate,
I know. You guys are like it's Forest Derby, right? That's the big game. Right?
It's Forest Derby.
But like, if you have anything close to like a local derby, surely.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be Nottingham v Birmingham for the local derby.
So
there's some sort of Midlands rivalry going on.
Well, everyone believes that there's this, rivalry, Forest Leicester. That's more on the Leicester end of things. I mean, when we played them in the FA Cup, they came to Nottingham,
Leicester,
smashed up, family restaurants, and then lost 4-1. But I'd say probably the biggest derby of the season in terms of, from a fan point of view, is either going to be Man United or Liverpool, because I'm not part of that era, but from the older generation, my family and stuff, they despise Liverpool with every single inch of their body. In terms of,
Most hated.
I believe most of it comes from back in the day with what was the disaster to do with Juventus and Liverpool, was it? Heysel. That's it. Yeah. So a lot of Forest fans, we're not getting into that discussion now. I'm really not trying to stir any beef. So please, chat, do not go for me. But a lot of older Forest fans blame Liverpool for that and denying them European football for 5 years. So that's probably the biggest rivalry. And then Man United.
Maggie Thatcher, anyway. We were fine, just us getting banned. No, Maggie Thatcher has to extend it across all of England.
Well, exactly. But, ding dong, the witch is dead. Man United. Man United on the other hand as well.
Come back on this channel anytime, mate.
Man United again. That's quite a big one. When Leicester turn up, that will obviously be on Sky. That is the local one. But in all fairness, I don't really think Forest fans care too much, apart from Derby. They're completely and utterly irrelevant now. They're down in League One, we're in the Prem. So
the thing is, like Forest Leicester just seems to me like Brighton Palace. Like I don't
know. It is. It's false.
There's no real storylines to it. Like at least with us, like us two, there's a storyline of history. Like I didn't know Crystal Palace and Brighton hate each other until 2 years in the league when Sky Sports were promoting it once. I went, oh,
yeah. The media are going to hype it up massively.
It's a motorway.
I mean, Leeds is always a big one. Forest Leeds, it's always a good game. And to be fair, Forest and Leeds fans hate each other. But then again,
do you like any other fans?
Not really, no.
Out there that you like?
No, there's a lot of clubs that, like you hear a lot of fans go, oh, yeah, it's great to have Forest back in the Prem. But then you actually look on the face of it, there's a lot of rivalries that between Forest and former clubs from like 20 years ago that are just going to be rekindled. Something like Palace and Newcastle, yeah, we're fine with them. But, I'd probably say 6 or 7 teams in the Prem that Forest fans and their fans are going to be, there's going to be a lot of things happening off the field. We'll say that.
That's what tickets, like, the touts selling tickets when we played in the Cup, they were going for ridiculous amounts because people just wanted to be in that away end for the first time in like 20 years. And it's going to be the same. Away end. Yeah, it's like, you couldn't get them. Like, we had the whole of the lower Bridgeford as well. And you just, people were selling them for hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And it's just a cup game for second string Liverpool side. So it does show how much people do care for that fixture.
Yeah, to be honest, the one ground I want to go to be honest, I want to go to any Forest game this season. I think it'd be an unreal experience. And then
Elliott can hook us up.
Elliott, yeah, thanks, mate. I'm putting that out there.
I'll do my best, boys.
Speak to Alan, mate.
And whenever. Right, because I prepared so many questions for this show, I'm gonna freestyle from now. Before I do that, like button people, let's not take the piss now.
What are we on?
If we're not within 5 of 50, I'm gonna cry on stream.
We are on 44 now.
Oh, we're 6 of 50. I've got to cry. No, I won't cry. I'll cry when we win the league. Right, what I'm gonna do, very, 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 very rogue, whatever, la-di-da. I'm just gonna go through each game, and we're gonna go in a nice circle, and we're gonna say what we think of the game and what we think the score is gonna be. Give us scores, give us whatever, give us your controversy. So the order will be: we'll go Ben, Tom, Elliot, me.
Yeah.
So Palace, Arsenal, Ben.
2-1 Arsenal.
I've got drama? 2-1 Palace.
Yeah, I think Arsenal just scrape it. Jesus for everyone's FPL because like everyone's got him in, haven't they? So yeah.
I'm gonna go a little bit.
I don't think there'll be much drama. I just think it'll be one of them situations where I know Jesus has been banging it in pre-season and they've got the new Pele because he scored a couple goals, but like. That just strikes me as a prime Jesus blank. Like he'll get a couple of chances, he'll miss a big one. His interplay will be lovely and all that, but he'll miss some big chances. And I like Crystal Palace's attack. I know that Gallagher's not there now, but Zaha, Elise, Eze, Edouard, that's a good attack there. And I just think with it being the first game of the season at Selhurst Park under the lights, that stadium will be bouncing, and that will be enough to drag them over the line.
Oh, the atmosphere at that ground is joke.
Class.
as we know.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, I've not got like spoiler alert for the FPL show coming tomorrow, but I've not got a Jesus in my team because I tweeted it earlier. Do you guys believe in the FPL gods? Because I believe in them. And when this guy, I saw the stat that he's the most owned player in FPL history. I was like, there is absolutely no way this guy is scoring here. So Elliot, have you given your prediction?
No.
Yeah,
I didn't
go
know
for
when.
it.
So it's a troublesome game. Crystal Palace over the years has always been a very tough place to go. But I'm backing a big Arsenal win here. I'm going 4-0 Arsenal. I honestly, I'm on the hype train. I really am. It's going to be all or nothing for Arsenal. I honestly, I believe they're going to turn up at Selhurst Park. Everyone's going to go, really difficult game at Selhurst. But I reckon they'll just blow them out of the water. It'll be one of those do Palace performances they occasionally put in. And, they're going to be firing on all cylinders. So, quote this when Palace win 1-0. But,
See, if that happens, I guarantee you, if Arsenal win 4-0, I guarantee you, on Twitter, in your trending bar, it will say Arsenal title win.
Yeah. I'm not putting that.
Arsenal title win, right? Everyone will be like, you know what? This Arsenal team, they're different. Mentality, Selhurst Park away, Friday night, under the lights, bosh, whatever. Nah, man. We'll come to the Liverpool game last because this is Grizz Khan TV. We'll go to the 3 p.m. kickoffs, and wow, I've never seen anything more 3 p.m. than Bournemouth Aston Villa. Ben, Bournemouth Aston Villa.
1-0 to Stevie's man, Coutinho.
That's narrow.
Tom?
I had it down as 3-0. I don't get what Bournemouth are doing. Like their squad is worse than when they got relegated from the Prem. They're not buying anyone. I think they just spent £10 million, which is about their budget, considering how they've done this transfer window on bloody Marcus Tavernier. Like that's not good enough. Who is your centre back pairing? Like, I swear Gary Cahill was one of their key components to getting promoted, and he's not there anymore. So I don't even know who they've got at the back anymore. Mark Travers in goal.
Nat Phillips as well.
Nat Phillips and Gary Cahill was their centre-back pair, and now neither of them are there. And you go into a Premier League season, it just doesn't strike me as smart. So 3-0. Oh,
no,
that'll be a prime Danny Ings masterclass. That.
Yeah, I can see that. Coutinho maybe with like a goal and assist. Everyone puts in his FPL, and then
he blanks for 3 weeks.
I'm backing Tom on that 3-0. The Bournemouth squad is genuinely worse than when they got promoted from last season. Like you say, they've lost the core of the team at the back. They spent so much in January because they were in such bad form. They spent so much to try and get themselves
new signings
back into the top two.
They've bought Fredericks and Rothwell, and neither of them can play. They're both injured.
Yeah, Bournemouth are in deep trouble this season. And I've got Villa 3-0 on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll one up you and say 4-0. I think there was a game about 10 years ago in the Premier League, right? We're celebrating 30 years of the Premier League here. It's the 30th season, la-di-da, right? And Bolton went to, was it Bolton? Yeah, Bolton went to QPR, newly promoted QPR, all this hype about QPR, 3 p.m. kickoff. Bolton just went there and scored 4. Chris Eagles on the turn. That Gary Cahill spun on the ball, curled it in, left foot. I was like, wow, amazing. So yeah, I can see Watkins and Ings getting 2 each, to be honest. On to talk about 3 p.m. I know, Ben, I know you're excited for the Premier League, mate, but Leeds United Wolves.
It's not the widest array of good 3 o'clock kickoffs.
Leeds United Wolves. Leeds American arm,
that's really, really, really tough to call, to be honest. I'll say why not 0-0? There's got to be a 0-0 somewhere.
Yeah, I've got a 0-0, but a little bit later on. I went 2-2. I like both their attacks. I know Wolves haven't got Jimenez fit, I think he's a bit injured at the start of the season, but I love Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto is so good, and I think he will be good enough to get at least a goal minimum. I just think Leeds' defence isn't exactly very good. It's not a good defence. So even if I think they'll be the better team, because they've got more players fit, they haven't had to change the system. I just think they'll leak goals, and this will be one of them games where they'll sit there come the end of the season and go, we should have won it. They could go 2-0 up, and then their leaky defence cost them or something. It's 100% a draw, just whatever draw you want to give it. Is there going to be goals or not?
Yeah, I've gone I've gone for 2-2 as well. Wolves have got so many problems off the field. Their owners in billions of pounds worth of debt. And interestingly, on the field, Bruno Lage has changed his formation from 5 at the back to 4. And I reckon there's going to be a few teething issues with that. Nathan Collins coming in. He's not had that much time there. He's only been there a couple of weeks from Burnley. I don't like Leeds in terms of Jesse March. I really don't rate him. I think he'll be gone before the season's over. But saying that, they've got a nice team. They've made some good signings. Brendan Aronson, that guy from Salzburg. I think they brought 2 guys from Salzburg, actually.
Christensen as well, a right back.
Yeah. So I reckon it'll be an entertaining game. I don't think it's going to be a boring one. And I reckon 2-2's a fair one to put down. And like you say, Tom, definitely a draw. Just depends on how many
It's one of them games where you'll like look at the scores at the end just before match of the day comes on and goes, wow, that'll be a good game to watch. And then you actually watch it, it's just like, why was there so many goals?
Yeah.
It's not an exciting game.
I don't know. I'm sort of on the opposite vibe there. I think it's a very clear pattern. I think Wolves, solid team, right? They're going to be trying to play on the counter. I don't know if Adama's playing or not, but you've got Neto, you've got these sort of guys. Very counter-attacking team. You've got Leeds, naturally front-footed team. Jesse Marsh, I call it the Jurgen press, the Jesse Marsh press or whatever. I think Patrick Bamford's back, but I can just see Leeds missing loads of chances. But maybe they might sneak a 1-0 late on. That's what I think. I think maybe, I don't know, one of the new boys gets on the score sheet. But that's no dig at Wolves. I think Wolves will have a top season. I just think it's one of those things. Newcastle Forest. Game of interest. Ben.
Be careful here, Ben. Right, our friendship's on the line here.
I have got Bruno in my team. I would like some Bruno points. So on that basis, I'm gonna say 2-1 Newcastle.
No, get me out of it, man.
You're not gonna like my one then. You're not gonna like my.
No.
I went 4-2 Newcastle. I went 4-2.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
I just think St James's Park, it's just one of them ones which there'll be loads of goals in it. And I'm a massive Callum Wilson fan. I think if they can keep him fit, they can achieve a hell of a lot. It's a big if you can keep Callum Wilson fit, because that man sprains his ankle walking down the stairs every other morning. But if they keep him fit, that man gets goals, and I think that will be a big difference tomorrow. I like this Newcastle team. I like a lot of what they've done, and I think there is goals to be had there. Although saying that, Dean Henderson has been very good in pre-season, so he could well keep the score down.
I promise I'm not being biased here, and I will try not to talk about this as long as I can. I've got Newcastle 2, Forest 3. Forest they've got goals in them. Brennan Johnson.
What a prediction!
Brennan Johnson, Lingard. In all fairness, I have no idea what the starting 11 is going to be. It's anyone's guess. Bit of a bold one. I reckon Jack Colback's going to end up playing, which is I mean, that's a different.
Newcastle fans love him, don't they?
Oh,
He'll get a lovely warm reception there.
Oh, he'll get a great reception from St. James's Park. But Forest, as much as they've invested heavily at the back, it's a very new team at the back. They're going to be a little bit shaky, struggling to gel. I just reckon there's more goals in Forest than Newcastle, to be honest, which I know is bold, but St. Maximin, for all his tricks and all his brilliant play, he doesn't really score or assist that much. Doesn't really get on the end of stuff. But like you say, Tom, Callum Wilson, if they can keep him fit, they've got goals there. But Forest, I'm always thinking about my boys in the first game of the season.
Of course.
It's obviously a bit of bias, but yeah, 3-2
Elliot,
Forest.
how are you going to be watching this game? You need a old little stream.
So you can actually pay to watch it £10 on the Forest website, I believe. But I'm actually commentating. I'm working. I'm at Mansfield. I'm doing the commentary at Mansfield Tranmere, so I'm not even gonna know what the score is.
Off the Tranmere. Let's hope you actually win a game for once. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Mansfield Tranmere.
What's your score prediction?
What a game that is. Well, I don't know. I mean, Mansfield have just signed Anthony Hartigan today, so that's a great addition to the team.
Up the walls.
Who the hell is that guy? I'm gonna sit on the. I think it's gonna be one of those games where Newcastle fans are up for it. They get off to a flyer. They score early, but they miss loads of chances. They should be winning. I'm gonna say 2-2. I think there's a lot of grit in that Forest team. Yeah, someone had to please you, mate.
Yeah, cheers.
Sounded a bit ropey.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Cool. So
It's
Spurs.
getting late, man. It's getting late.
Spurs were playing on 3 p.m. as well. Spurs Southampton.
3-0 Spurs. I'm just gonna say it. 3-0 Spurs. Kane, Son, Kulusevski done.
I just went 2-0. 2-0 Spurs.
6-0 Tottenham. Kane, Son.
Elliott's predicting for one of those Christmas days. You know that one that always pops up on like Boxing Day of like
no, honestly, right? Southampton,
like a million goals.
But it's the Prem. It's not the Championship anymore, mate. There's actually
Southampton's defense is so young and inexperienced. Gavin Bazunu, I reckon, is a great keeper. He's never played Championship football. Never mind Premier League. He was on loan in League One last season. It's such a big step up.
He was very good.
Yeah, he was very good, but it's such a big step up. That team, inexperienced. They're big money signings. There's been this Cara from Bordeaux for multi-million pounds. So, honestly, Spurs to absolutely smash him. I'm really tempted to triple captain Kane on my FPL, but I don't know if I've got the balls for it. I really don't know if I've got the balls.
No, I'm quickly. You can't look past a Salah triple captain on first day of the season. That's a guaranteed 20 points.
That's Ben written all over it.
I did do that last season.
Do it every season.
I'll say 3-1 top Spur. I think Kane double, someone like an Eric Dyer bullet header. Southampton got Joey Rebo, and I'm not going to lie, I saw that guy score a screamer in pre-season, and I had to put him on my fantasy team. So, that's my logic behind them scoring a goal. I've got Joey Rebo in my fantasy team. Tom, what is this Tranmere save?
Uni got in the way. I've had so much fucking uni work over the past month that everything else has to be put on the side, but it's finally done. And that's probably part of the reason why I have this major fucking hangover celebration from that shit. Oh my god.
Right, evening kickoff. The Derby de Lampard. Everton against the Chelsea. Two clubs that are up there in my worst estimations of football clubs.
Can both of them lose? Can both of them get no points?
See, I wouldn't be happy with a draw. I want to see one of them lose. I think a draw would be such a cop-out. Ben?
2-0 Chelsea.
No.
Everton don't get anything.
I've said 0-0. I don't think either team's got any attacking threat. I think it'll just be a dead game where there'll be chances, but no one's actually capable of scoring the goals. It'll just be who's missing the bigger chances, because they've got two good goalkeepers as well. So even if they get the shots on target, Jordan Pickford and Edouard Mendy will save the majority of them. So it just strikes me as a 0-0.
I've gone Everton 1, Chelsea 0. I reckon Nathan Patterson, who's gone massively under the radar in terms of FPL and how good he is playing at right back, he'll start ahead of Coleman, and I'm backing him to score the winner. But it'll be a close game. It's not going to be a good game, but it'll be a close one. So Everton 1, Chelsea.
I'm gonna echo Elliot there. I'm gonna say Everton 1-0 and Alex Iwobi scoring. I don't know about chat. Some of you guys might know on Grizz's Premier League prediction show. we had a little deal going on where if Alex Iwobi wins a Premier League Player of the Month, I get ownership of this channel. So I'm on the Alex Iwobi.
Right. If he ever gets nominated on the EA Sports, I'll vote.
Everyone
get a whole community going. That'd be insane. Yeah. That won't happen, but yeah, I think it's one of those. I think it'll be a feisty game because I think both teams are a bit on edge, and I think they're going to be hesitant. So I don't actually mind Tom's 0-0, but I do think there'll be a winner. And yeah, I'll just say Iwobi because I kind of have to. Sunday, there's no Monday game. Nah, screw that. Leicester Brentford 2 p.m. is. It's not even on. Is it on? It's not even on TV. That's such a Conference League hangover sort of game. Ben, Leicester Brentford. That is pretty morbid.
1-1.
I think I went 2-1 Brentford. I just think Leicester have got so many problems, and Rodgers will get if it's not Lampard who gets sacked first, it's Rodgers. One of them.
I agree.
Both of them, in my eyes, aren't making it to the World Cup, but minimum one of them aren't. Like they're not lasting.
Just before I do my prediction, I've just seen the comment that's popped up from Dals about Everton scoring. Rondon suspended, so I reckon it will be Dele Alli as a false 9. And I like Dele Alli.
Not Dele Alli.
I like Dele Alli.
Opening day, Dele Alli is one of the world's greatest ever footballers.
Nice, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So yeah, you watch. But in terms of predictions for Leicester Brentford, 0-0. Oh, 0-0. Just it's going to be awful. Just terrible game. Leicester on low morale. At Brentford, I don't particularly like them. They were awful without Eriksen. They haven't got Eriksen. Yeah, 0-0.
They brought someone though. I think that Damsgaard kid.
He's not
he won't be as good. I demand tomorrow, but he won't be as good as Eriksen. But he should be able to take.
Oh yeah, he's a good player.
Creativity.
Yeah,
because Eriksen was so important because they just had nothing creative last time.
Yeah,
like they were playing a back three with 3 DMs and 2 wing backs who were awful attacking. It was just lump the long ball to Ivan Toney and pray to God that it will end up in the back of the net somehow. And that was all they done 3 times against, doesn't it? Work? So Jesus Christ.
I think Brentford are going to have a horrendous season, but I equally think they're going to win this game 3-0.
There's no logic behind that.
Yeah, I just think. I mean, like, how many times have you seen a team start the season well and then they're relegated? Like, it happens. I think Leicester are not a team, and Brentford are a team. So I think a team beats not a team. So 3-0. Tony probably scores like 2 pens because I don't know. So Yunchu.
Be interested to see if Keane Lewis Potter starts because he's a baller.
Who?
Keane Lewis Potter bought him for 20 mil from Hull. Interesting enough, he's basically had the same career path as Jared Bowen, who did mint for Hull and then went to a Premier League team. So take it out what you will.
Oh, fuck. We're going to be linked with him for 4 years then. Jesus.
Yeah. That's so true. Bloody hell. Mate, all these footballers, like, can't keep up. What else is on that day? I keep messing up on the sky. Oh, actually a fun game that I love if it just goes to crap. United Brighton.
United Brighton, jeez. Let's just say 1-0 Brighton for the Bants. Potter ball. Yeah.
I've gone 3-1 Brighton.
Lumming heck. Oh, you can tell this is a Liverpool channel.
Now that Brighton have that Brighton's issue's always been goals. Neil Maupay is the worst starter striker I've seen in a long time. The man just doesn't score for goals. They've got this German lad who's come in from the Belgian league who was putting up like 35 goals last season, and they were all like dead good finishes. So if he can adapt to this Potter system really quickly, their main issue is sorted. So I could see with all the issues around United, who's playing up front. Ronaldo might just leave at half time if it's not going well. Like, I just think
he's playing up front because Martial's out injured.
Marcus Rashford false 9. Why not? Who else have they got?
Marcus Rashford is 6.5 million on fantasy football, and he's a midfielder. I think
I did originally have him in.
Stream, bro. Marcus Rashford, don't put him in because he's going to start games, but he ain't scoring goals.
The only issue right now is I don't know who's playing left back for them now. Is it Solly March? Christ, it best not be Solly March. I might not get me 3-1, then it might be 3-2.
I've just gone with 1-1. I know you lads and everyone in the chat's going to go from here. United, for all their issues, they do actually have a bit of quality in the team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bruno Fernandes, he is a good player, but they've not got enough really to get over the line. I'd be fascinated to see if Ronaldo plays. Slow start to Ten Hag's tenure, but a 1-1. Is it bad that I want to say that's a respectable result for United against Brighton? A draw?
The thing is,
because Brighton are a good team.
Exactly. We'll be sitting there if it's a 1-0 draw going, Brighton will be disappointed with that.
Yeah.
Like the XG will be like 4.7 to like United's 1.8. Like it's just
possible, mate.
Yeah. Well, this is the first game that I actually have that a result doesn't jump out to me. So I'm gonna say 1-0 Brighton as well, and Danny Welbs, that guy Welbs, is scoring a winner, and then I don't know he'll what's his celebration at the moment? He's like, is he stirring the pot? I don't know. He'll do something crazy, and United will cry, and we'll move on to West Ham City. Ben,
this is where the title charge begins, and I'm gonna say 2-1 to David Moyes' Claret and Blues. Antonio and Bowen, and then we sign Bowen next summer as a reward.
I've gone West Ham 2, Man City 1 as well. I think that Scamacca bloke, he's just gonna. Ruben Diaz cannot handle tall strikers, and Scamacca is the definition of that. Like, Aaron Cresswell is going to have a field day whipping crosses in on his left foot to Scamacca to head home. Like, I think he'll just light it up against City, and they always have slow starts to the league. Haaland will probably score, to be fair. It'll be a consolation, but I do think West Ham will get the results. I hope West Ham will get the result. Do I think so? I really don't know, but I hope they do.
I'm scared. I'll go West Ham 2, City 4.
City only played 3 games, including ours.
Yeah, they're still going to be rusty.
They're not ready.
West Ham aren't there yet. They're not as good as City.
They haven't had the best pre-season, to be fair.
Well, based on that, mate, Forest are finishing bottom on 0 points. If we're basing this on pre-season,
they might.
But yeah, City. I mean, they've just got goals. No matter what, they've got goals. Haaland will get a couple, but West Ham have got them as well. And I don't really think West Ham have, got enough to see it through against City. So yeah, we'll go with a bit of an outsider, one of 2-4 to Man City. But yeah, we'll go with
that. 1-1. I think West Ham will score from a corner. Someone like Craig Dawson or whatever.
Yes, Craig Dawson.
He's that guy who he shouldn't be good, but he's actually good.
He's not even good. He's funny. He's just that. You laugh at how that man is playing at such a high level.
You know that there's that football conspiracy page on like Twitter at the moment. There's definitely hilarious. Some sort of conspiracy about Craig Dawson just being in the Prem since like 1992, and he's just played for like mid-table teams, so you've never realised he's there, like that sort of thing. But yeah, I can see like them scoring a header, but City just dominating. I can see Alvarez scoring again. I feel like that guy's just got that sort of Jota touch to him. Right, on to the main event. Chat, you know what to do. What I want from you is I want a like and either your score prediction or your Liverpool team or both. Ben, okay, we'll start with Elliott because I like Elliott. Like, just give us a score prediction because I want to see Tom and Ben's team.
Okay. Fulham 0, Liverpool 1. Close game. Difficult ground to go to, as I say, with the new stand, sold out stadium. Fulham's team on paper isn't that bad. It is actually still okay. Yes, the defense isn't great, but they got Bernd Leno in goal. He's a good keeper. It'll be difficult for Liverpool.
They've got Tim Ream at centre back. Like
Tim Ream, I actually don't get how he's still a professional footballer, but there again. Fulham, they are a difficult team, especially on the opening day of the season. 12:30 kickoff, you never back it. I think Liverpool will just about get through with a 1-0 win. Maybe a cheeky Tim Ream own goal from a Trent cross or something.
As long as Trent gets those FPL points, I'm happy. Tom, I'm going to ask for a bit more. I'm going to ask for your team as well, because I think it's quite an interesting one now.
Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Thiago, Elliott, Salah, Nunes, Diaz.
You and Dals were literally spot on until Nunes and Bobby, I think. Why Nunes?
Fulham is a prime confidence booster game. Like, that's a game he could easily score a hat-trick in and set himself off. Like, I've got it down as a 5-0. I reckon we'll just absolutely batter them. Tim Ream, their left-hand side for defending. Bear in mind, that's where we've got Salah, Elliott, Trent, Nunes can drift out there as well. To stop that, they went for Anthony Robinson, who the only time I've ever seen him is when he was doing a card trick on Sport Bible.
That was class, to be fair.
Tim Ream.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, that was class.
Who's their DM? Harrison Reed.
Palhinha.
Palhinha, who they've just signed.
Yeah, no, Palhinha's on the other side. They've got a really good right-hand side, but their left-hand side's weak. Like Harrison Reed, Tim Ream, Anthony Robinson against
Tom,
Salah.
would you be worried if Wilson starts if they get a free kick?
I think Harry Wilson's injured.
Oh, is he out? Fair enough.
I think he got injured, so it's it's like either Solomon or decode over Reed.
Bobby Reed he's not great. He'll run at you. He'll run at your defence, but he's got no end product.
He scored against us last time as well. Honestly, we gave so many careers to Fulham players. Jesus Christ.
This is the most Premier League squad I've ever seen, right? I've just gone on their team, Wikipedia, right? So, Harrison Reed, Harry Wilson, Mitrovic, Tom Kearney, Anthony Knockaert.
Oh, Mitrovic. Oh, my Christ.
Mitrovic.
The man dropped 46 last year. He's going to get about 4. He's just going to get about 4.
This time will be different, Tom. That's what they always say, isn't
it? He doesn't...
I will jump to the defence of Mitrovic. I will jump to his defence. Previously, at Fulham, when he was in the Premier League, he started, I believe, 6 games under Scott Parker. Across the whole season, he wasn't given a fair chance. He just kept coming off the bench. Hence why his goals-to-game ratio is so low. He won't get 20-odd goals, but he'll get a fair crack of 9 to 12 goals this season. He's not going to do as bad as everyone else says.
I don't see it in Mitrovic. I really don't. He's a, you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of that kid who you're in math and you're doing your test and the kid's on ropes. You're in top set. He's on ropes. He can't hack it. Goes down to second set.
In top sets like me.
Goes down to the set below, smashes it, top of the class, straight back up. And we've got a yo-yo club in terms of a math kid. Like, that's what Mitrovic is. He championship, best striker I've ever seen. Get him to the Prem, and it's, I haven't got the legs, not got the pace, gets bullied half the time, doesn't close down. Get him in the box, he can finish. But he's also playing in a team which in the Premier League are not going to get it in the box enough.
Yeah, no, that is true. Like, he's lethal. But yeah, I think Tom. I think he will score more, but yeah, I can't see him like blowing everyone away. But yeah, I think I'm actually with Elliott like 9 to 12. Ben, finally from you, mate. We'll finish on you.
Yeah, my lineup is pretty simple: Ali, Robbo, Virgil, Matip, Trent, Fabinho, Thiago. I'm actually going to go Henderson. I don't think Elliott comes in for him straight away. Not the first away game of the season. And then front three, Diaz. I'm going to say Nunes. Did you say Nunes, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nunes. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts Bobby again.
Oh, yeah, no. It's 50-50 whoever he starts.
Yeah. So I'd prefer Nunes, especially after what we saw in 30 minutes last time round. You know, like Tom said, this is a prime game where Trent's going to lump some balls into the box and he's going to be there to put them away.
Nunes versus Tim Ream in the air. Yeah. Come on.
it sounds beautiful in our head. So, and then obviously Salah on the right. And I know I said earlier it's going to be a tough game, and I will stand by that. I will say we're going to score 30, 40 minutes, and then I think we'll score again right near the end. I don't think it's going to be like one of those games where you just smash them, like score 5, whatever. We could do it. What I'm saying right now could just be because I'm quite pessimistic, and with this team, I'm confident. I always am, but you've got to expect the unexpected in the Premier League. We've been shown that many times. So I'm gonna be careful until I see this Liverpool team get into their stride. I'm just gonna be relaxed and composed with my prediction. So I'm just gonna start things off with a 2-0 Liverpool win, which would be perfect, especially when City drop points on Sunday.
Yeah, I can't see anything but us winning. I think it's be the same team as last weekend. I think we can do that. Yeah.
So Bobby starts.
I think Bobby starts. I think he just sort of. I like the impact Nunez, Carvalho, Elliott had. I think Nunez, Elliott come on at 60 for probably Hendo and Bobby, and we just see them take the game away. I can see Carvalho getting a goal. I'm gonna say 4-0 Liverpool. I can see Salah maybe bagging a couple. I can see Nunez bagging one. Maybe I don't know, like a header, Virgil from a corner, because I don't know, he needs to score more.
He loves an opening day goal, Virgil van Dijk.
He does, doesn't he? Goal. So yeah, I think we normally kickstart the season really well, and it just feels like a typical Liverpool. This could backfire, but it feels like a typical Liverpool opening day win. So yeah, there we go. We rattle through them games. Some drastic decisions. Elliott thinks his Forest going up to Newcastle and winning 3-2, and I kind of back it.
You watch it.
6-0 Spurs apparently winning. United, none of us I don't think predicted United win, and none of us predicted a City win. So clearly this is.
I did.
Oh, you predicted City win. Oh,
yeah.
The 3 Liverpool fans. Clearly there's something wrong with us. Guys, thank you. Chat, you've been amazing. Honestly, like Nonya, there from the. It's a metaphor. Like Nonya, you are first super chat, our first super fan on Young Bucks, and here you are from the start to the end. What a legend. The rest of you chat, you've absolutely been insane. Smash the like button. I'm getting tellings off from Grizz. He's telling me I'm going on for too long. Ben's telling me I'm going on for too long. So we'll wrap up there and catch you later.